Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to build an interactive star rating component using React. It will highlight stars when you hover over them and save your feedback once you click. Our goal is to create a dynamic feedback component where users can rate their experience by clicking on a star. We will handle hover states for visual feedback and save the user's rating. And the conditions which we should consider while designing the solution is when user clicks on any of the stars till that point are highlighted, that is filled. Once the user hover over the stars till that point are highlighted but not persisted. Okay, this is the challenge. And then the star rating, that is rating should range from 1 less than or equal to ratings less than or equal to number of stars. And one more thing we should consider is we should dynamically render the number of stars based on a property which we pass to the feedback stars component. Okay, for that let's start designing the solution. Let's go to VS Code and then add component first, that is feedback star component. Let's create file feedback star.jsx and then use snippet to generate code here. Now let's save it and then add this component to app.jsx component. Save it. Let's go to browser and then see, yeah, it's working. Now here what we have to do is this component takes one property, that is number of stars. Okay, based on this property we should dynamically render stars. Okay, for that let's create a function which can return the stars dynamically based on the number of stars property. Okay, number of stars property. For that let me create a function const render stars. Okay, this okay this function is to dynamically render the stars. We will wrap or we will map over an array of the length of number of stars. Okay, the length of number of stars. For each index we will return an SVG element that represents a star. Okay, for that return array of number of stars. We should map over this array. To return an SVG element for each index which represents a star. Okay, here first let me initialize sec. I did it wrong here. Should add this here. Okay, so first let me take one variable, that is star index. Why? Because our index index of array starts from 0, but our star should start from our star ID should be from 1 to whatever 5 or 6, whatever the number of stars. So for that I'm taking one variable, that is star index, and then calculating the index of the star based on the index of array. Okay, simply calculating it. Now I simply return SVG element. SVG element. Okay. Inside SVG we should pass some properties. Okay, let's pass properties. Key is star index, and then XML namespace equal to http www.w3.org/2000/svg. Okay, this is about XML namespace, and then view box 002424. This is about the canvas. Okay, this is about the canvas. Next, fill. This is to fill the star component. This is to fill the star element, that is SVG. Okay, here let's say for now I simply hard code it like gray. Later we will change based on the our rating or our, when user hover over, we should actually change the background color of the star. For now I am actually hard coding this value. Once we done with the complete logic, we will add the conditional fill based on the hover over or rating. Okay, for that, and then width 32 pixel, height 32 pixel, and then here we should add few events. Why? Because when you go to challenge, here what they said is when user hovers over the stars till that point are highlighted but not persisted. That is one condition. And the other condition is when user clicks on any of the stars, the stars till that point are highlighted, that is filled. So to handle this, we should add two events. That is, one is on mouse enter. Okay, here we should actually update the hover rating. So for that, let me add one event handler. Based on that, we can update the hover rating inside that handle event handler. Okay, handle mouse enter, for which we should pass star index start. Okay, let me change it to star index. Copy paste back here. Star index, and the second event is on mouse leave, because when user hover over on the stars, we should change the background color, but when user moves the cursor away, we should set it back to normal. Okay, for that, one more event, that is on mouse leave, handle mouse leave. Okay, let's copy and then change the handler name, mouse leave. Okay, for this, let's change this. We don't need to pass anything here. Why? Because we simply set it to 0. Okay, now next thing is on click. This is when user clicks on the star to give rating. Then we should change the background color of stars and then persist the state. For that, I am using this event where I pass event handler to handle this, handle click, then pass star index. Okay, now this is about our SVG element. Now here we should add one more property, that is path property. I simply copy paste because it involves a lot of numbers, so I don't want to type that thing. I simply copy paste that property here. This is to tell what to draw on the canvas. Okay, this is all about our star or SVG element, which returns stars based on the number of stars property passed to our component. Here what we have to do is we should provide definitions for a few events, that is handle mouse enter, mouse leave, and then handle click. For that, let me take two state variables. Rating one is rating use state, and then useState. Let's set the value, initial value to 0. Then in the similar way, let's take one more state variable, over rating, over rating, set over rating, then set the initial value to 0 for this as well. Here we are simply initializing state variables using useState hook, and the initial value we are passing to state variable is 0. Okay, now let's provide definition for our event handlers. The first one is handle mouse enter, which takes star index. Okay, which takes a property star index argument. Now inside this, what we have to do is we simply set, or we simply update the hover over rating to the star index. That's it. Okay, set over rating to star index. Star index. When user moves cursor away or mouse away from the star, we should simply set this to 0. We should simply set this to 0. Okay, this is about mouse leave. And the next thing is handle click. For that, we should simply update the rating sorry rating state variable to the star index. Rating state variable, we should simply update the rating state variable to star index, value to star index. Now we are done with implementing render stars function, which dynamically renders stars based on the number of stars property received by our component. Now let's use this. Let's wrap this or use this to display number of stars on the page, and then we will see the demo. Okay, for that, let's come here. Simply use this to return it is error. Div, inside div, I simply use the render stars function to render stars dynamically, So for that, I simply, let me add it, render stars. Now let's go to functional app component, then provide property number of stars equal to, let's say, 5. Save it and then go to browser. Refresh. What is the issue here? Passing this feedback star. Okay, understood. Okay, we are actually not calling the function. Okay, save it. Yeah, now if you see here, but it's not properly aligned. So let me add styles for this to display it properly. Along with that, I'm going to add a couple of extra features to this component. That is, first thing is, let me add div and then say rate your experience text to, or this is simply kind of asking user to rate your experience, and then once user rates his experience, I'm going to display it just below here. Just below here, what I'm going to tell is, based on the rating, if rating is greater than 0, rating is greater than 0, I simply say you rated, okay, you rated, then use that rating. Okay. If not, if rating is not greater than 0, I simply say click to rate. This is what is the issue here? Okay, stars. Done. Let's save and then let me add a couple more styles here. Okay, let me add a couple more styles here. Let me wrap this into div. Then, sorry. And let me add styles using Tailwind CSS, flex column, justify center, item center. The similar way, inside this class name, text Excel, font bold, text center, margin bottom 4. This is about inner div. Next here, let me add class name flex display. Okay, flex display. I want to display stars horizontally, not vertically. Okay, now for this class name, text center, margin top 4, text large, font semi bold. Let's save it and then go to our browser. Now if you see here, so we properly aligned our page and then we are displaying the feedback star component on the page. Now see here, when we are actually when user hover over, we should actually change the background color, but if you go and check in the component, we actually hard coded that fill value to gray. We are not using conditional condition here to change the background color of our star. For that, let me use our rating and then hover rating. Based on those values, I change the color of our star to either gray or orange. Okay, for that let me add a logic, that is if star index less than or equal to overrating overrating or rating. Okay, overrating or rating, then I fill the color of, or I change the background color of star to orange. Else I simply keep the gray color. Okay, gray color. Now this is about logic or condition to change the background color based on the user action, that is whether click or hover over, we change the color. Now let's go here and then see here now, as user or as we move cursor or mouse on stars, the background color is getting changed, but it's not getting persisted until we click. Now let's click on here. Okay, we got error, that is 0 is not a function. Okay, let's see. So when we are clicking, handle click, we are simply updating the rating to the star index, right? So what is the issue here? 0 is not a function, type error. Let's see where exactly the issue is. Okay, yeah. Okay, now let's save it. Come here. Now see, just rated 2 stars. If we change, it keep on change. Okay, now it's working fine. So when we click on star rating, the background color is getting changed to whatever we want. So if we hover over, again it gets changed. The background color is getting changed. Okay, this is all about our uh, feedback star component, which we are using to dynamically provide the feedback. Okay, so this is all about today's video. If you like the video, please do subscribe, share the video with your friends, and then like it. Thanks for watching. See you in next video.